Hello there. Well, it has been another unsettled start to the week, but it's looking like it's going to get quite a lot drier for southern areas by the end of this week as high pressure starts to build in. But for the time being, we've very much got low pressure in charge. This area of low pressure was named Storm Pierre by Meteo France over the weekend as the strongest winds were to affect northern France. But we will see some quite wet and windy weather for some areas of the UK through Tuesday. Then we see this area of jet core in the Atlantic develop this area of low pressure. This low pressure pushes up to the northwest of the UK for Wednesday and Thursday. That's where it will sit for much of the rest of the week, and it will drag with it a string of weather fronts that will develop waves that could bring some fairly persistent rain to particularly northwestern areas, but western areas as well. So much of the rainfall will become a lot more restricted to northern areas by the end of the week. And actually across the south, we start to see this area of high pressure that's across the near continent start to bring its influence. So that will bring dry weather, but also much warmer weather by the end of the week as we see this stream of milder air wrapped around that high pressure across much of the country. So temperatures could climb to the high teens, low 20s by Friday. But as I said, for the time being, Monday into Tuesday, we've still got low pressure in charge. We've also got this cooler air wrapped around that area of low pressure. So as well as the strong winds and the persistent rain for some, it's going to feel quite a lot cooler than on Monday. There's wind warnings in force for many western and southern areas of England and Wales. We could see gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour through Tuesday. We'll also see some very persistent rain affect many areas of Scotland. So there's likely to be some disruption to travel from the rain and the wind. So make sure you check before you travel and keep up to date with our daily forecast for more details on the warnings. Once that rain does clear into the North Sea, though, we do see a drier period develop. So a mix of sunshine and showers for many southern areas on Tuesday, and by the evening, most areas should see more in the way of drier weather. However, as I said, we've got a northwesterly wind, that colder air, so it's going to be a colder feel. Highs of just 13 degrees across southern areas. And as I said, exposed to the wind, it's not going to feel very warm at all, particularly compared to Monday. Ridge of high pressure between systems develops for Tuesday night into Wednesday. That could bring a bit of a chillier start on Wednesday morning, so we could see a touch of frost first thing on Wednesday. And however, that won't last too long as we start to see these weather fronts arriving from the west. So things will deteriorate through the day. But to start, particularly across the east, there's a good chance of seeing some sunshine despite the chilly feel, but it will turn considerably wetter and cloudier through the day. The rain will be particularly persistent across parts of Scotland, western areas of Scotland in particular, where the ground is well saturated. So there's likely to be some travel disruption, localised flooding here. Elsewhere, though, across the rest of the country, it will turn much cloudier and there'll likely be some drizzly outbreaks of rain, but the air is turning that much milder. So despite the cloud and the rain, we're going to see temperatures rise to those compared to Tuesday. So highs of around 15 degrees across southern areas. That mild feel continues through the rest of the week despite these weather fronts moving through. They'll just bring spells of rain rather than a change in air mass, and this cold front will become quite a weak feature as it sinks into southern areas through Wednesday night. So to start on Thursday morning across the south coast, it's likely to be a cloudier start, some drizzly rain possible. We do see some waves on this band of rain that bring a bit of uncertainty on exactly where the heaviest rainfall will be, but I think for most it's going to be a fairly dry and bright day. And as I said, we've got that milder air in charge, so with a bit more sunshine, temperatures will climb closer to 19 degrees for many central and eastern areas of England. But even across Northern Ireland, parts of Scotland as well, temperatures climbing into the higher teens. Those are well above average for the time of year. So it's certainly going to start to feel much milder once we get to about Wednesday or Thursday. However, for northern areas, the next weather front will push up into these areas through Thursday night into Friday, with higher pressure starting to spread its influence across southern areas. So that will bring a drier day, another dry day for many southern areas, England, Wales. However, across Northern Ireland and Scotland, we'll see some fairly persistent drizzly rain. It won't be too heavy, but I think it will persist through much of the day. And as I said, the ground is fairly saturated in these areas. Across the south, though, with that mild air in charge and a bit more in the way of sunshine, temperatures could climb closer to 20 degrees. Now, it does look like as we head towards the weekend, high pressure continues to dominate, particularly across southern areas, but we'll likely start to see some cooler air arrive from the north and west, which will turn the temperatures down just that little bit. But before we get there, we have got that wet and windy weather to come throughout Tuesday, so make sure you keep up to date through the rest of this week, and you can do that by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Bye-bye.